with the TI situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too. I don't spare no motherfucking body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement to get you out of trouble, that means you're cooperating. That means you're a rat.
You have any questions for me?
Well,
You need anything to go with you?
oh,
Your phone? Where's your phone at?
you call.
We're in the car.
Search you. This is
I'm not looking for phones. I'm looking for drugs and guns.
Where you going too fucking far, dog? That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be.
And one of you niggas have been to the penitentiary before, man. What happened when a motherfucker say somebody ain't right and they got there show their paperwork and they ain't right? What's the penalty for that? Can somebody tell me what's that punishable back? Somebody tell me that.
But I'm gonna tell you like this: when I saw that, I think T.I. fucking lying.
Boosie Badazz just unleashed on TI after King Harris got exposed in the worst possible way, and the person behind the leak will shock you more than the video itself. When that private footage hit the internet, it wasn't just King's reputation that got destroyed. It reignited a war between two rap heavyweights that's been brewing for years.
Damn it. It been 20 years, bro. It been 20 years. I figured if I wasn't built like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, bro. I done faced every challenge motherfucker that like to throw at me, man. You ain't seen me fall, you ain't seen me break that.
But here's what nobody saw coming. The woman who allegedly dropped this nuclear bomb wasn't some random enemy. It was the mother of King's own child. And Boosie, he's been waiting for this exact moment to strike at TI where it hurts most. But why would King's baby mama burn down everything they built together? And what does Boosie really know about TI that made him choose now to go for the jugular? The footage that surfaced sent shockwaves through social media, with people immediately labeling it as something that confirmed years of speculation. Whether authentic or fabricated didn't even matter anymore. The damage was instant and brutal. For years, King Harris had been fighting off rumors, trying to prove he was every bit the man he claimed to be. He had a baby, talked tough, got into public confrontations, anything to shut down the whispers. But this leak, it undid everything in a matter of hours. But the woman behind it all had a story nobody expected. Before diving into the chaos, you need to understand the woman at the center of this storm. When King's baby mama first announced her pregnancy, red flags started waving immediately. She was older than him, significantly older, and the internet jumped on that detail like hungry wolves. She knew exactly what she was doing became the chorus line in every comment section. The speculation was vicious. This wasn't about love or building a family. This was about securing a bag from hip-hop royalty. The timing felt too convenient. Just as rumors about King's identity were heating up, suddenly there's a pregnancy announcement. People started connecting dots that might not have even existed. Was this baby real or just an elaborate cover-up? Social media detectives pulled up every photo, analyzed every caption, dissected every public appearance. When the baby arrived, King posted side-by-side photos claiming the child was his twin, practically begging people to see the resemblance. But desperation has a smell, and the internet caught wind of it immediately, and what people discovered about King's past made everything worse. The harder King pushed the narrative, the more people questioned everything. Comments flooded in suggesting the baby looked nothing like him. Others claimed she trapped him for the Harris family money. Some went even further, suggesting this was all orchestrated to quiet speculation about something else entirely. The woman who should have been his strongest ally in proving his manhood became the biggest question mark in his story. And when that alleged tape dropped, those same people felt vindicated, like they'd been right all along about everything being fake.
Damn it. It been 20 years, bro. It been 20 years. I figured if I wasn't built like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, bro. I done faced every challenge motherfucker that like to throw at me, man. You ain't seen me fall, you ain't seen me break that.
But King's credibility issues run deeper than just his relationship drama. See, for someone who talks like he survived the trenches, King Harris grew up about as far from struggle as you can get. His parents are T.I. and tiny multimillionaires who made sure their kids never wanted for anything. King spent most of his childhood at his grandmother's house, not because of hardship, but because his parents were working. Yet somehow he adopted this hardcore persona that even his own father couldn't understand. Then came the incident that exposed everything. The Waffle House situation exposed everything wrong with King's image. Here's the son of rap royalty getting into screaming matches with fast food workers over nothing. The videos went viral instantly, showing King yelling, threatening, acting like somebody who had something to prove. But prove to who? Everyone watching knew his background. They knew he had money, opportunities, and options that real street dudes would kill for. Instead of looking tough, he looked lost.
So what I'm saying is, they wasn't.
Talk like that outside.
Hey, I can talk how the fuck I want to wherever I'm at. I'm on live, Shawty. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it, and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File your shit. Come back. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here. Come on.
TI himself went live addressing the incident, and you could hear the frustration in his voice. He couldn't understand why his son felt the need to argue with what he called a short order cook. He reminded King that he lives a life others dream about, so why throw it away acting out in public? But that message clearly didn't penetrate because the incidents kept coming. Each public blow-up made King look more like he was playing a character than living authentically, but nothing prepared anyone for what the police found next.
Well, I mean, of course I spoke once. You know, me and his uncles. You know, we were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. I had to explain to him that, you know, when people are not living the way they hope they would live, and here you were just walking in with so much freedom and luxury, and here, that, you know, people gonna posture themselves a certain way. So therefore, you're gonna have to enjoy, you're gonna have to enjoy your life. You're gonna have to remove yourself from that energy and go enjoy your life.
Then came 2024, and things shifted from embarrassing to potentially life-altering. During a routine traffic stop in Georgia, police said King almost hit their squad car pulling out of a gas station. When they approached his BMW, they smelled that familiar scent and spotted a firearm on his hip. Running his information revealed something worse, an outstanding warrant from 2022 for skipped court dates related to speeding, driving suspended, and DUI charges. The arrest footage hit different than the Waffle House videos. This wasn't just King wilding out anymore. This was real consequences catching up. He stayed calm during the arrest, but that calmness almost made it worse, like he'd accepted this was just part of his story now. The internet saw it as confirmation of everything they'd been saying. King was spiraling, trying to live a life that wasn't his, and now paying the price for it. And that's when his father's biggest enemy saw the perfect opportunity. But would his father's enemies let him deal with his problems in peace? Not a chance, because that's when Boosie Badazz entered the chat, and everything escalated to another level entirely. Boosie didn't come for King directly, that would have been too simple. Instead, he used King's scandal as ammunition against TI, knowing exactly where to aim for maximum damage. This wasn't random shade, this was calculated warfare from someone who'd been waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The irony was thick too, considering Boosie's own complicated history with his children and public statements about sexuality that forced him to apologize to his own daughter. But the real story behind their hatred goes way deeper.
I gotta say something about this, right? Dwayne, wait, you going too fucking far, dog. That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have it figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything at 16, and fall in love with her. But it's be gone. I ain't gon' like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his off, bro. Like, bro, for real, if you gonna be gay, let him be gay. but don't cut his dog, bro.
What makes Boosie's involvement even more interesting is his current situation. The man just caught a federal gun case and struck a plea deal that could still land him serious time. Yet here he was, taking shots at another man's parenting, while his own freedom hangs in the balance. But that's the thing about rap beef, logic goes out the window when there's blood in the water, and Boosie smelled blood from a mile away. The roots of this animosity stretch back to 2020, when Boosie made those controversial comments about Dwayne Wade's transgender daughter. TI was one of the first to check him publicly, telling him to mind his business about other people's children. That planted seeds of resentment that would grow into something much uglier. Boosie fired back by bringing up old federal cases, accusing TI of being a snitch, the nuclear option in hip-hop warfare, and the war only got nastier from there.
Steve Sadar reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of TI and Tiny. And I told Steve Sadar that my clients want justice. So the deal involves Tiny and TI turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed. That's fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work as to bring criminal charges against Tiny and TI.
From there, the beef evolved from social media posts to deeply personal attacks on each other's character and credibility. They went after parenting styles, street credentials, and family values. TI criticized Boosie's controversial statements, while Boosie attacked TI for being controlling with his own daughter. Every few months, they'd claim peace, only for something new to reignite the flames. By 2023, Boosie was accusing TI of not supporting him during legal troubles, and TI was telling Boosie he wasn't his responsibility. This wasn't just rap beef anymore, it was personal vendetta territory. So when King's scandal erupted, Boosie saw his opening. He could hurt TI through his son without technically crossing any lines that would escalate to real violence. It was chess, not checkers, and Boosie played his move perfectly. The internet recognized the game immediately and ran with it, understanding this was bigger than just King's situation. But the online response would be more brutal than anyone imagined. Once Boosie opened the floodgates, the internet turned into a feeding frenzy. The comments were absolutely brutal. Comparisons to cartoon characters, particularly Sideshow Bob, flooded timelines with side-by-side memes that went viral instantly. People wrote things like "he always looks suspicious to me" and "King about to be queen," each comment designed to cut deeper than the last. But the cruelest part was how they brought TI and TI into it. Too bad he took after TI as became a recurring theme, as if genetics were something to be ashamed of. Every physical feature, every mannerism, every past incident got re-examined through this new lens. The internet's ability to be collectively cruel reached new heights, with people celebrating what they saw as confirmation of long-held suspicions, and King's response only made everything worse. King tried fighting back, posting defiant messages and calling out the haters, but it only made things worse. The internet has an unwritten rule: the more you protest, the guiltier you look, and King was protesting hard. Each response became new material for memes, each defense twisted into evidence of denial. He was trapped in an impossible situation where silence meant guilt and speaking up meant desperation.
So him being arrested isn't really like the shocker, it's him coming out and his, I guess, reaction to it, right? Because everybody's saying, King, you grew up privileged, bro. Why are you going down this path? Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So, you know, he
The really twisted part, most of these trolls didn't actually care about King's truth. They just loved the spectacle of watching someone with everything fall apart in public. It's that same sick fascination that makes people slow down at car accidents. King Harris became the accident everyone couldn't look away from, and Boosie made sure TI had a front row seat to watch his son's humiliation. But this exposed something even darker about celebrity culture. When you zoom out and look at the full picture, this saga reveals something darker about fame, family, and the impossible standards placed on celebrity children. King Harris never really stood a chance at normal. From birth, he was T.I. and Taney's son first, himself second. Every move got measured against his parents' success, every mistake magnified by their spotlight. The pressure to prove himself pushed him toward extremes. Act too soft, people question your manhood. Act too hard, people call you fake. Have a baby, must be overcompensating. Don't have a baby, must be hiding something. It's a no-win game where the rules keep changing but the judgment never stops. King's been playing this game his whole life, and now we're watching him lose in real time, and the entertainment industry turned his pain into content.
I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for Family House. That does come with some, you know, it's some adversity. It's some adversity to come with that. People get in your bed.
Yeah.
What's even sadder is how his struggle became entertainment for millions. The leaked tape, real or fake, was just the latest episode in a reality show nobody asked for, but everyone watches. People dissect his life like it's a TV series, waiting for the next plot twist, the next scandal, the next downfall. They've turned his identity crisis into content, his family drama into memes, his pain into punchlines. But here's what nobody's talking about. What happens next? Because this story isn't ending with a leaked tape or Boosie's comments. King Harris is still young, still trying to figure out who he is beyond his parents' shadow. The question is whether he'll let this scandal define him or find a way to flip the narrative entirely. History shows that rock bottom can either break you or become your foundation for something better. But the choices ahead aren't just King's to make. The internet might have short-term memory for most things, but when it comes to scandal, those receipts last forever. King's got decisions to make about his image, his family, and his future. Does he lean into the chaos and try to monetize it? Does he disappear for a while and rebrand? Or does he keep fighting a battle that might already be lost? These aren't easy choices, especially when millions of strangers think they know your truth better than you do. Meanwhile, TI faces his own crossroads. His whole brand has been built on family values and street credibility, both now under attack through his son's situation. How he responds or doesn't will say everything about his priorities. Does he go to war with Boosie publicly? Does he address King's situation directly? Or does he let time handle what words can't fix? For someone who's navigated the industry for decades, this might be his toughest challenge yet. And Boosie's strategy is more calculated than people realize. And Boosie, he's sitting back watching the chaos he helped create, probably planning his next move, because in rap beef, there's always a next move. Whether TI responds or not, Boosie wins just by being part of the conversation. He inserted himself into a scandal that had nothing to do with him and made himself relevant again. That's the kind of strategic thinking that keeps you in the game even when you're facing federal charges. The collateral damage in all this goes beyond just the main players. There's a child involved who'll grow up with Google searches full of this drama. There's a woman who, regardless of her motivations, is now forever linked to this scandal. There's Teeny, watching her family get dragged through public humiliation. There are the other Harris children, guilty by association. Everyone connected to this situation becomes part of the narrative, whether they want to be or not. And this reveals the darkest truth about hip-hop culture today.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of woo-saw yourself outside of the public opinion. Then I think, you know, because I tell you what, I have the greatest, most extensive family photo album. I can document and, like, I could go back to when King was Eris's age. I can go back to when Major was my granddaughter's age.
This whole situation exposes the dark underbelly of hip-hop culture, where personal destruction becomes public entertainment, where beef transcends music and invades family life, where young men get crushed under the weight of expectations they never asked for. King Harris might be the current victim, but he won't be the last. There's always another celebrity kid trying to find themselves while the world watches and judges. The saddest irony? King wanted respect and recognition so badly that he lost himself trying to get it. Every fight, every arrest, every controversial moment was him screaming, "Look at me, I'm real, I matter." But the louder he screamed, the less people believed him. Now he's trapped in a narrative he helped create but can't control, fighting shadows that might not even exist while real problems pile up around him. And what's coming next might destroy them all. As this drama continues to unfold, one thing becomes crystal clear. The internet age has transformed personal struggles into public spectacles where redemption is rare and destruction is entertainment. King Harris is learning that lesson the hardest way possible, broadcast live for millions to witness. Whether he survives this with his identity and sanity intact remains to be seen. But make no mistake, this story isn't over. With Boosie and TI's beef simmering, King's legal troubles pending, and the internet hungry for more drama, we're probably just seeing Act 1 of a much longer tragedy. The questions now are who falls next, how far this goes, and whether anyone involved can find a way out before it's too late. Because in the world of hip-hop beef and internet scandal, the only guarantee is that someone's going to lose everything. And right now, it looks like King Harris is first in line.